Is God dead? The April 8th, 1966 cover of Time magazine. A shocking question. And I think that right there has more to do with X-Men than anything dealing with civil rights or gay rights. That right there is something that I think people focus way too much on, the civil and gay rights aspect, where it has nothing to do with it. Gay people, black people do not have magic powers. They cannot vaporize entire cities, pull metal out of the ground or out of people's heads. They can't pop claws. They can't shoot optic blasts or read minds or move things with their minds. They can't erase memories. They can't just destroy whole cities. That is not has anything to do with that. But the idea of gods, that man should reject this godhood, that man should cast them down. This idea is like, oh no, we're being oppressed. Yes, you should be. Muties should be oppressed. They should be destroyed. The Sentinels is a good idea. Gyrick is not a bad. He's a prick, and he can be a bad guy. He was pushing the whole. We need a diverse Avengers quota system, and Sam Wilson Falcon's like, I ain't playing this. I'm out of here. So, well, we need another black member for the Avengers because he was a government representative. This idea that mutants represent the downtrodden, the gays, the blacks, anybody that's not white. Basically, not white, not straight, not white male who isn't straight. That right there, if the mutants represent that, which funnily enough was four of the main members of the team, including the leader, the guy that ran the school, and all of it, there you go. But hey, of course, they had to retcon the Iceman thing. It's like, oh, Iceman, oh, clearly from the first issue had no interest in girls. Like, he's like 13, 14 years old. Some kids get a little, they're late bloomers, as it were. But no, we got to go ahead and retcon everything so it can make people happy. But whatever. You look at the X-Men as the Greek gods from modern era, where at one time the gods were revered. Now it's been turned on its head. This is after World Wars. This is after cracking the atom. These are the children of the atom. These are gods that can be destroyed. They can be cast down. That once would demand you give them attention. You sacrifice for them. Now you can kill these gods. You make giant robots, giant machinations to destroy the gods. And yeah, granted, not all gods of Greek myth were, shooting lightning bolts with their hands. Some of them just looked weird and played the pan flute. You know, they look weird and maybe they hung out on rocks all the time. Maybe I don't know, weird stuff. But they weren't all powerful. Not all of them. There were some of them. They're titans. You dealing with Kronos and Saturn and well, that's not no Saturn. That's a different one. But either way, I'm getting Greek and Roman mythology all mixed up in my head. Well, either way, you're dealing with a god from modern era, an era of wireless communication, of nuclear weapons, of hypersonic jets. And these gods no longer have an Olympus; they have a school, and not even upstate New York. It's like outside the city, outside of New York City, and the suburbs, basically. So they went from gods of Olympus to that, or look at Avalon or Asteroid M from Magneto and his Brotherhood. Almost look at it as a hell, but in space instead, or Hades. And I think that this idea of X-Men just to focus on, oh, we got to do these stories with, like some more infamous where Kitty Pryde's dropping N bombs. She doesn't like the word mutie. And she's like, "Oh, you don't like? I don't like the word mutie. Do you like the drop dropping it probably with the hard R?" Uh, but Kitty Pryde, well, hey Claremont, I love stuff, but dear Lord, that's a little much. And I've actually soured on God Loves Man Kills at this point. I used to love it. He's like, oh, my favorite X-Men story. I reread it. It was a mistake. Just like with New X-Men, I shouldn't reread it. And he's like, you call this thing human? Yeah, Stryker killed his mutant kid. That's a little extreme, dude. Maybe get some help with that. Maybe, maybe not be preaching to people. Maybe not having purifiers running around. But it's demon mutant priest. I don't know. But I think there's a honest look at it as if you have these powerful beings. They're more akin to the gods of old than they are of, any political thing that's going on at the time. And I think that right there is like before you focus on the political side of it instead of the, like Storm was worshipped as a goddess on the plains of Africa. And I think honestly, for that kind of lean more towards that than lean more. And also, she was a queen of Wakanda with T'Challa, but lean more towards all that stuff than lean towards, oh, we're fighting for these rights and fighting for this and that. I mean, you're a god. God shouldn't have rights. Well, the next step in human evolution. Well, technically, when you did the whole, oh, but the celestial seeds, and they're like in humans, they're part of the antibody system to protect the celestial that's growing within the earth, and da, 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 da. It's not technically the next step of human evolution. It's like part of been there the whole time, and it's a bunch of stupidity. But either way, I look at it that way as godly instead of earthly civil matters, as it were. So, what's your thoughts? Any thoughts? Please put in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. Tell me what? Huh? What are you talking about, Larry? All right. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.